If you've been hearing all the hype about Ozempic being the ultimate weight loss miracle, you're not alone. Everywhere you look, celebrities, TikTok, even doctors are talking about it. But before you rush to get a prescription, you need to know the full story. We've worked with countless people who feel stuck in their weight loss journey, and today we are breaking down the real pros and cons of Ozempic and other semaglutides, and whether it's actually a smart solution for fat loss or just another dangerous shortcut. Hi, my name is Zita. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach.
And I'm Terry, neuropsychology and body image coach. We help men and women over 40 build strong, confident bodies with food freedom while shedding fat and transforming their lives through neuroscience, emotional wellness, nutrition, and movement. So I lost over 90 pounds of fat, built a significant amount of muscle, and I feel more energetic than ever before after struggling with extra weight for most of my life. If you resonate with achieving these goals, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, as we'll be posting videos every week to help you become the best version of yourself. Let's talk about the hype and science behind Ozempic and how it works. What is Ozempic? It's a brand name for semaglutide, a GLP-1 receptor agonist, originally developed to treat type 2 diabetes. So let's break this down. Start with what is GLP-1 and what does it stand for? Well, it's glucagon-like protein 1. It's a hormone your gut releases in response to eating. It has a few key jobs, including stimulating insulin release when your blood sugar is high, suppressing glucagon release, which would otherwise raise blood sugar, and slow gastric emptying, meaning food stays in the stomach longer. And it also sends fullness satiety signals to the brain so you feel more satisfied after eating.
And in a healthy system, GLP-1 helps regulate appetite and blood glucose levels, but natural GLP-1 has a very short half-life, just a couple of minutes before the enzyme called DPP-4 breaks it down. And that's where GLP-1 receptor agonists come in. They mimic or agonize that hormone, resisting the breakdown that natural GLP-1 faces, so their effects last longer. And it became a weight loss sensation because one of its side effects is reduced appetite and slowed gastric emptying, so people eat less and feel fuller. That's why it's making headlines everywhere, from celebrity endorsements to social media before and afters.
So next, let's uncover what semaglutide is. It's a synthetic analog of human GLP-1. It's 94% homologous to the natural GLP-1, designed to resist degradation and stay active in the body far longer than natural GLP-1s. Because of these modifications, resistance to DPP-4 breakdown, binding to albumin, the half-life of semaglutide is around 165 to 184 hours, about 1 week, enabling once weekly dosing in many cases. Semaglutide is marketed under different brand names or formulations, like Ozempic injectable version, used primarily for type 2 diabetes, but often repurposed off-label use for weight loss. Wegovy is essentially the same molecule, but approved specifically for chronic weight management in people with obesity, overweight combined with lifestyle interventions. And Rybelsus oral semaglutide tablet form for diabetes through its use for weight loss is more limited and subject to dosing constraints.
Yeah, there are a lot of different types, but research shows that semaglutide can reduce the motivational reward value of palatable foods. So basically, it interferes with food reward signals and dampens dopamine responses to food cues. Semaglutide and GLP-1 receptor agonists generally were first developed and approved for type 2 diabetes management due to their ability to control glucose, reduce postprandial after eating meal spikes, improve insulin sensitivity, and lower HbA1c, hemoglobin A1c, which is a blood test that measures your average blood sugar levels over the past 2-3 months. So over time, researchers noticed that many patients taking GLP-1 agonists were also losing weight beyond just improved glycemic control. And this led to trials and further development for obesity weight management indications, such as the approval of Wegovy.
Because the drug was already tested for safety mechanism, dosing, etc., repurposing it for weight loss made scientific and regulatory sense. While the diabetes use gives it a medical safety framework, using it purely for aesthetic weight loss in people without diabetes or metabolic disease is more controversial. And in many jurisdictions, GLP-1 is only approved for weight loss in people meeting specific BMI thresholds. But knowing how it works isn't enough. You need to know what else happens inside your body when you use it and what might happen when you stop.
So the shiny social media side of Ozempic. Ozempic is readily available, and let's be real, some of the hype is earned in terms of short-term fat loss. However, we will discuss the side effects very shortly, and here's what's actually true and backed by research. So in terms of real short-term weight loss, clinical trials have shown that weekly semaglutide leads to a 10 to 15% body weight loss over 12 to 18 months, and some individuals even reach 20% or more. In real-world studies, most people lose 5 to 10% of their weight within 3 to 6 months. But weight loss isn't magic. It's driven by how the drug changes your biology. And also note that we said lose body weight and not fat. And there is a huge difference between the two.
What you're doing is basically slashing your calories. The only difference is that with semaglutide, you won't feel hungry. So you will lose body weight, but 30 to 50% of this will be muscle loss. This is extremely detrimental to your health. And if you don't engage in specific strength training, which we're not talking about cardio with little weights, such as circuit classes, but rather actual bodybuilding style strength training, you will lose significant amount of muscle during your weight loss journey.
If you are severely obese, it could be a tool to start your fat loss journey, but only if you implement lifestyle interventions and start strength training to avoid muscle loss. It's not a magic wand, and there are no shortcuts. Everything has consequences, so do semaglutides and other similar weight loss injections. And without habit change, coaching, and a real plan, those results, they usually don't last. We actually have a training for men and women over 40 who want to escape diet prison and build a body they love while gaining more energy without starving or extremes. So get access now using the link in the description.
Now let's talk about what doesn't make it to TikTok, the side effects, the rebound, and the emotional roller coaster that can come with it. So number one, side effects are common and can be brutal. Up to 40 to 60% of users report nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, bloating, constipation, or fatigue, especially early on. These are dose dependent and sometimes so severe that they lead people to stop the drug entirely. Some rare but serious risks include pancreatitis, gallbladder issues, and potential thyroid tumors, based on animal research data. There's no long-term research on the human effects of semaglutides, so we don't know how these semaglutides affect your biology. These side effects don't just affect the gut, they affect your energy, motivation, and ability to work, train, or show up for your life.
Number two is the Ozempic rebound effect. So studies show that most people regain 60 to 100% of the weight within a year of stopping the drug. One meta-analysis found that after withdrawal, participants regain over 11% of their body weight, and often quickly. Number three is the cost and sustainability. Ozempic and Wegovy can cost between $800 to $1,300 per month without insurance, and even with coverage, long-term access isn't guaranteed. But if you stop due to cost, supply issues, or side effects, the progress can vanish very quickly. And that leads to something we don't talk about enough.
And that's, of course, is the mental health fallout. Rapid regain doesn't just affect the scale, it hits your identity, confidence, and self-worth. Many users report feeling ashamed, defeated, or broken after stopping, as if they've been handed hope only to have it snatched away. There's also a dopamine dip when reward systems down-regulate motivation tanks and depressive symptoms can rise. So this is what researchers call the psychological metabolic backlash, when your body rebounds and your brain follows emotionally.
So who could consider taking semaglutide? People with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, PCOS or polycystic ovary syndrome, or severe obesity with other risk factors. If you take it, then you need medical supervision and a long-term plan that includes habit and lifestyle change, along with coaching and strength training. Of course, it will be your choice at the end of the day, but it is recommended as a temporary aid, not a lifelong dependency.
So what do we do instead? I understand that you want results quickly, so that you can feel your clothes finally fit again and have energy that doesn't crash at 3 p.m. But here's the truth, you don't need a $1,000 injection to feel like yourself again and lose that unwanted fat. You need a plan that is built for you, not a cookie cutter meal plan, not a boot camp, not another just eat clean and move more prep talk. You need a strategy that fits your biology, your lifestyle, and your goals. That means knowing how your body responds to carbs, fats, and stress, understanding your hormones, your age, and your history, and structuring your habits so they're easy to stick to even after travel, stress, or a rough week.
So why the natural route wins long-term over Ozempic? Okay, Ozempic can manipulate hunger, but it doesn't rewire your identity. It doesn't fix the story you tell yourself when you mess up. And it doesn't build the strength, resilience, or confidence you get from doing the work. True body and lifestyle transformation isn't about shortcuts. It's about becoming someone who can trust themselves again with food, with workouts, with life. That kind of transformation sticks, even when the meds run out.
Next, I want you to check out this video where Zita and I share with you the history behind fast food and how it's always been bad for your health.